What's up, good people? It's your boy C. Dot. We're from Boys to Gentlemen, and welcome along on my journey of healing from sexual assault. One of the things I wanted to address in this video in particular is three reasons why I really didn't recognize or really couldn't acknowledge that I was molested or sexual assault happened. The first one, for me personally, is I was very much exposed to men can't be raped by women. There was a lot of masculinity, a lot of uh, a focus on the strength of a man. You know, a woman not being able to rape a man, you got to be weak for things that like that to happen. So even in the experience that I've shared numerous times where I was fondled, actually in church, after being fondled by a female in the bathroom, when I went and told my play uncle or older kid about it, he was like 19, 20 at the time. When I told him about it, his first response and very first question to me was she fine? And once I said she was attractive, it was this barrage of, well, you should be happy, you should be glad, and almost giving me this sense of approval because I had been assaulted. So it's very hard to accept what happened to you as something negative, regardless of how you feel. It's easy to permission. It's easy to form it around in your head that it was a good experience, even when you don't believe it, even when it was uncomfortable, even when it makes you feel a certain type of way. So the idea that a man can't be raped by a female, can't be sexually assaulted by a female, is probably the very first thing that kept me from recognizing for that to be the case. Probably the most uncomfortable, to say the least. And this goes more back to my molestation at a younger age when I was 6. It's an extremely difficult thing to address this. The idea that because it felt good, then it's your fault. When you hear about molestation, you hear about sexual assault, you hear these things and you think of this horrible experience. You have this image in your head of how it happened, whether it be through TV or whatever the case may be. When you hear those words, you're looking at somebody being attacked or ravaged. But what do you do when something is pleasurable, even though you didn't want it? What happens when somebody is touching you and your body is responding in a way where you almost feel like your body is betraying you because you don't want this thing to happen? You don't want this experience to be going on, but you still can't help but understand that is something that feels nice. It's something that's pleasurable and something that your body is responding to. So I know for me, it is a very difficult conversation to try to have at that point, specifically when it was going on. So that made it feel like I didn't have a right to say anything that happened to me because even though I wasn't asking for it, even though I didn't want it, it was a pleasurable experience. So that was the second thing. And probably the third thing um, that makes something like this difficult, and again, I'm speaking for me, it may not match with other people. I didn't want that victim tag. I didn't want to be looked at as broken. I didn't want to be looked at as weak or nasty. All these different things. I'm not saying that that's what you are, but that's what I believed. I believed if I came and said that I was a victim or I said I was molested, then that meant that I was a victim. If I said that I was sexually assaulted, that meant that I was weak, especially at the hands of a female. That was just the culture aspect of what kept me from being able to communicate about it, because here I am trying to establish my manhood. I'm trying to establish what it means to be a man, and my culture, my surrounding is telling me that if I am not garnering the attention from females, if I'm not engaging in these sexual activities, then I'm weak and I'm soft and all these different elements. So those are three things that really prevented me from even being able to acknowledge. Like I said, I was 30 before I could really acknowledge and say with my mouth that I was molested. I tried to make excuses for all these different things, but the reality was it's something that happened to me. It's something that affected me. And as a I'm 34, I'll be 35 soon. As a 34-year-old man, I'm still trying to heal from. And the healing starts with me acknowledging what happened to me and being willing to go for it and make uncomfortable steps, and that's part of this. So those are three things. Give me some feedback. Let me know if anybody can relate to that. What's your thought process on it? But again, this is just part of my journey working towards that healing and welcoming people to come along with the process. My goal, I want to stress one more time, my goal with this is to start conversation. My goal with this is to maybe say something for somebody else that may not be willing to speak on it. My goal is not to create this massive movement of let's go attack females, because they did don't do that. I'm giving my soul right now. I'm giving my heart on something that I experienced, and I'm hoping that I can be a better husband and I can heal things that are between me and my wife, and that I can have conversations that will spark a better environment for the kids that I have brought into this world and that I'm raising and others that I impact. So please hear me clearly. I'm gonna continue to say this because I'm sure there's people ready to try to put this caveat onto it. I'm not doing this to attack anybody. I'm doing this because I genuinely want to heal and I want to see other people heal. So thank you so much for being along with this journey with me. Share these videos. Let's start this conversation. Let's get it started so that we can really get past the get over it mentality, or it happened in the past, just act like it didn't happen, just for you to bring that over into another relationship. That's not what we're looking for. We're trying to heal from these things. So talk to me, share the video, hit the comments. As always, from Boys and Gentlemen, we love y'all. Let's get it.